Hi, in this video we are going to see how you can change an algorithm into a program. So here is the algorithm that you need to change into a program. So first let us see the algorithm. See, it is set counter to 0, loop until x is entered, input a value, then add 1 to the counter, and output the counter. So here the easiest method to change an algorithm into a program is step by step in the order do the corresponding program. So first one is set counter to 0, which means in our program we should have a variable called counter. So let's start our program counter. So we have to create a variable called counter, make a variable counter. Okay, now let me give an event when the flag is clicked. I want the counter to 0. Set counter to 0 means this one. So this is the corresponding code. Now the second one, loop until. So we know that loop until means it is a conditional loop, right? So loop until x is entered. So in Scratch we have repeat until, which is the conditional block. So we will go for repeat until. Repeat until x is entered means repeat until the user enters x. So the user's answer we are storing in answer if the answer is equal to x, right? So there is an equal to operation. So here to go to operator, there is an equal to operation here, and the user's answer is equal to x. So we have the second line of algorithm, loop until x is entered, that is repeat until answer equal to x. Now this is the body of the loop. See, now you can see a tab point, right? Input a value, which means now the code blocks are inside the loop. Input a value means it is an ask block which asks the user to enter a value. So go to sensing, ask, inside the loop, enter a number. What is the next one? Add 1 to the counter. So again it is inside the loop, right? It's a body of the loop. So add 1 to the counter means we are making changes to the counter. So set your counter value instead of average, set your counter value to what? Add 1 to the counter. So counter plus 1. So again there is an additional operation. Go to counter, drag addition operation. Counter is equal to what? Counter plus 1. Okay, now the next one, see output, but that is not inside the loop. Now you can see that it is in the same level of this loop, right? So it is not the body of the loop, which means now you have to come out of the loop and give the code. Output the counter. So to output we go to looks and you will get say. Either you can choose the first one or the second one. So I'm choosing the first one for now. Output the counter. So the variable is here, say counter. Now let's see the output of the program. Enter a number 50. One time I entered 30, 2 times 70, 3 times 12, 4 times 15, 5 times 11, 6 times. I entered 6 times. Okay, now the program will repeat until you enter x. Now I'm going to enter x, so which means when I enter x the program should stop. So just press x. See, now the program stopped, and say counter. Say counter means how many numbers you have entered. 7. It showed 7. What is the reason for that? Because now they are counting the x also, right? We entered 6 numbers only, but x is also counted. Whatever you count, it is counted here in the variable counter. So how can you remove that? I don't want x to be a part of it. So you just need to minus that. right? So see here, as a part of this algorithm, you don't have to make any changes for now. This is the exact equivalent program for the given algorithm. So this is how you convert an algorithm into a program. Now, how you can combine many programs and which can do a new task. See, this is where you have the old program. This was your old program where you used a repeat, a counter loop where you found the total and average. This is our new program. Now we have to modify, or we have to combine these two programs in a way that until you press X, until the user's answer is equal to X, the user has to enter the numbers and then you have to find the total and average. So basically this is the program where you have to make the changes combining this program. Okay, so I'm just adding this to here and coming here. So we have both the programs here now. Now let us see how we can combine these programs. So the first thing is we need total, because we need the average, so we need total also. Now we need counter, so we can take this and we can add this counter over here. Now it is a conditional block we need, not a counter loop. So we'll take this out, we don't need the counter loop. Instead, from here, from this program, we are taking the conditional loop, repeat until, because we want the program to repeat until the answer is equal to X. Right, now the same thing, you're asking the user to enter the number and you want the, again, now here you have to, once the user enters the number, the counter should be incremented. So coming back to this program and adding this counter, right? Now the counter is incremented. Now you find the total. Total is equal to what? Total plus answer. Answer means the user, the entered answer. What is the number entered by the user? Now what is the next thing? Here is very important. Okay, let me first add this, complete this program, and I'll show you the difference. Now we need to display the average, right? So I can just show this code. Average is equal to total divided by 10. Can we use 10 here? No, it was 10 because before we use the counter loop of 10. Now it is a conditional loop, and the number of counts is stored in the counter. So total divided by counter. So if the user entered 20 numbers, that 20 is stored in the counter variable and the average will be found by the total divided by 20. So how many numbers the user entered, that is being stored in the counter. That is why we are dividing it by the counter. Now we are displaying the average, right? Join average is average. Let us see if you get this answer right or wrong. So now we have combined both the programs, which does a new task. Okay, enter a number. I'm just entering 3 numbers for now: 10, 20 and 30, and I want the average of these 3 numbers. So I'm exiting the program, I'm typing X. So it is showing 5. So is it right? I entered 10, then I entered 20, then I entered 30. So divided by 3, so it should be, the average should be 20. So there is a small error in this program. What is the error here? See, counter, for example, I entered 10 first, right? So the value of counter is 1 because that is the first number I entered. Then I entered 20, so now the counter is 2. Then I entered 30, now the value of counter is 3. Then I entered X, now that is also counted as 4. So when they calculate the average, they are dividing it by 4, but totally we have entered only 3 numbers. So which means counter should be now decreased by 1. We have to remove 1 from the counter after all the counter values, then only that number of this x will be decreased. So what you can do, set your counter to counter minus 1. So again it is an operation here. Set your counter to go to variables, counter minus 1. Okay, now let us see how does this program work. Enter a number 10, 20, 30. Okay, so 3 numbers I have entered, the total is 60. I want to stop my program, I'm writing X. See, the average is 20 now. It is showing the correct answer. Let's check once more. 50. So 1 number, 40. 2 numbers, so 90. Next 70. 3 numbers, so 160. Then again 50. 4 numbers, so 210. Now 10. 5 numbers, 220. Now I'm going to solve. So we have 220 and we entered 5 numbers, so the average should be 44. See, the average is 44. So this is how you can combine different programs which can perform a new task. So that's it. Thank you.